I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. She stole the bananas of empowerment. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Every so often, an idiot sugar comes by and attempts to take me to task for the use of bananas in the intro to my videos about this one's wife. You're using bananas in relation to a person of colour, that's racist. Well, it is the case that some knuckle-draggers have used bananas in relation to people of colour, and that is entirely inappropriate. The behaviour has appeared at sporting events. For instance, in the United Kingdom, many years ago, it was the case that certain clowns would throw bananas at black footballers, denoting that they were monkeys. There's no place, of course, for that behaviour. Naturally, the sugars jump to conclusions. Because of their lack of brain cells and their inability to assess the evidence, they fail to realise that the reference to bananas in relation to this one's wife is as a consequence of her own conduct, because she created the bananas of empowerment. Yes, it may come as a surprise to you that it is now some 5 years since the bananas of empowerment came into being, my term for when this one's wife decided it would be a cracking idea to write messages on bananas to sex workers. If we roll back the clock, the Mail reported at the time, a sex worker has slammed this one's wife for writing messages of inspiration on fruit during her visit to a Bristol charity. On Friday, the Duchess of Sussex was pictured writing empowering notes of support on bananas as she joined husband Prince Harry on a visit to a sex worker charity 125. At the time, even the footage of Harry showed him rolling his eyes and thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, what's she doing? The pregnant Duchess, 37, came up with the idea as she and Harry were making up food parcels to be handed out to female sex workers. She asked for a Sharpie to pen her own personal touch. Declaring herself in charge of the banana messaging, the royal took the time to write individual messages of encouragement and empowerment like, you are special, you are brave, and you are strong on the fruit. However, not everyone was grateful for the support, with a sex worker named Nikki branding the move offensive and claiming she should be doing more. Speaking to The Sun, the woman said, people out here struggle to eat and sleep, and she gives us some words on a piece of fruit. She has the means to help us more than that. It is offensive, you know. However, not everyone felt that way, and another worker praised the move, arguing that it was the little things that count. Former prostitute Sam, aged 43, told how she was groomed into prostitution when she was 14 or 15 and ended up addicted to drugs. Sam said she was grateful for their visit to 125, adding, it's amazing that they chose to come here. It's heartwarming and makes you think that these women are not forgotten. I've been away from the street and away from drugs for 13 years in April. If you told me, when I was that girl, that I would be meeting with the royal family and they would be interested in what I had to say, that would have been alien. She added, I can imagine being on the van and someone saying, this one's wife wrote this. I think they might not eat it. I think that banana would be at home until it's rotten, because I would do the same. After this one's wife and Harry finished packing the food parcels, they were loaded into an outreach van and distributed to sex workers on the street. Now, at the time, I explained that such behaviour demonstrated a need to draw attention to herself because she needed to do something in that moment to assert control over Harry, the other volunteers, and also the sex workers themselves. That she did something which she thought was a sweet idea, but actually, given the fact that she's a narcissist, demonstrated a lack of boundary recognition, a sense of entitlement, a crassness in writing such meaningless epitaphs to the individuals. There's also the possibility of, well, that it might damage the fruit, but of course, she wasn't thinking about that. It was all about, look at me being empathic as she managed her facade. Thus, it was another example of many that were building at the time, demonstrating her narcissism. But of course, as it is the case with this one's wife, nothing that she ever does is actually authentic, although she always claims that it is. She, like many narcissists, borrows, steals, takes. This is character trait acquisition, whereby the narcissist obtains the characteristics, the personality, the actions, the behaviours of other people, and passes them off as their own. This is done because of the emptiness of the narcissist, and especially with this one's wife. She's afflicted by the double whammy of both being empty and not particularly clever. Therefore, she never has an original thought. We've seen so many instances whereby she has issued quotes that have been taken from other people, but she's passed them off as if she has said it. That we've seen just recently with the American Riviera orchard, how she's trying to emulate the likes of Jessica Alba or Gwyneth Paltrow, how she's using an established phrase utilised, for instance, by a bank, and using it to describe her offering. We've seen many instances, for instance, the Korean noodle story, which was taken from a cartoon. The climbing out of the back of a motor vehicle, which was purloined from a television advert, which I think had Catherine Zeta-Jones in. Her narcissism causes her to take things that other people have done, for example, the class project in relation to the oft-vaunted dishwasher story, and make it seem as if it was all about her. Now, she was involved in that, but it was a class project. But her narcissism shifted the story to make it seem as if it was her that had done it. With other instances, she has taken the achievements and behaviours of other people and passed them off as her own. Often, she does it without credit. But she did this again in relation to the bananas of empowerment. Because, as reported at the time by none other than the improbably named plastic-faced lickspittle lieutenant Omid Scobie, who was writing in Harper's Bazaar, it was explained that this one's wife had seen what somebody else was doing and decided that she would copy that, making it seem like she was doing something kind also. He reported this one's wife saying, "I saw this project this woman had started somewhere in the States on a school lunch program," this one's wife said, recalling the story of a canteen manager who worked at Kingston Elementary School in Virginia. On each of the bananas, she wrote an affirmation to make the kids feel really empowered. It was the most incredible idea, this small gesture. And indeed, that was the case. For as Good Morning America reported, an elementary school cafeteria worker in Virginia has made it her mission to pen appealing messages on the bananas she serves her students each day. Stacey Truman, a mom of two who works as the cafeteria manager of Kingston Elementary School in Virginia Beach, Virginia, wakes up at the crack of dawn to handwrite words of encouragement on each banana she puts out for her students. The kids need motivation. They need to hear good things, Truman said on GMA. They are our future, so why not, Truman said. They need to hear all of this and be inspired every day. Messages range from a simple smile to, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And even follow your dreams, spreading positivity with each serving of potassium. Truman initially started writing the messages for her daughters when she packed lunches for them, telling Good Morning America that she used to work 2 jobs and rarely got to see her own children, so the messages were a way for her to send positive words to her daughters. "I wouldn't see them for a week at a time," Truman said while fighting back tears. "I would do it for them so they would know how much I love them." After her girls loved the notes, Truman said her mum suggested that she do it for all her students, and the tradition began. Students at the school refer to the fruits as talking bananas because of the sweet notes, which is something we all know that this one's wife also does. She's adept at talking bananas. Therefore, something that was done by this lady for children, and that was reported on 10th of December 2018, well, along comes this one's wife. Now, on this occasion, she actually admits that she copied somebody. Often she doesn't. But it demonstrates once again that there is no originality with this woman, that she's incapable of producing an original thought, that everything that she does, everything that she says, is a mimicry, is a copy of what somebody else has done. And this is because her narcissism functions that way, deeming it appropriate through a lack of boundary recognition to take the ideas of other people. Now, of course, non-narcissists might take somebody's idea and improve upon it. They may be subconsciously influenced by something that somebody has done, and that finds its way into their work. But it's different when it comes to the behavior of the narcissist, such as this one's wife, because it forms the bedrock of nearly everything that she does. Over and over again, what she says, what she does, how she wears things. For instance, the way that she's copied Diana, Princess of Wales, the way that she has utilised quotes said by other people. You can find so many instances of her mimicry. And ultimately, it's hardly a surprise to learn that in effect, she stole the idea surrounding the bananas of empowerment from somebody else. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.